Willie D Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, let me see you smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. All right, fam. I'm going to let a few hundred of y'all come in. Then I'm going in. But in the meantime, in the between time, I'm going to give some shots out to the early birds, starting with dun, dun, dun. Alex, what's up? Candy K, what's up, Candy K? Dee Dee, what up? Gotta cook 'em. Gotta cook 'em. Antoinette, what it do? What's up, Tabitha Bennett? We got how do you say that? Dane. I got Galloway. Got Dan, Enan, Galloway. Got to mix it up, man. You should, like when y'all have like, instead of like having the name like straight across with all of the same letters, maybe capitalize the first letter of each name. Jonathan Jones, what's up? What's up, David Cartwell? Shalom. Alicia Smith, what it do? Black Air. Connie, what's up, Connie? Okay, is that Kalac? See, I don't know what that is right there. That's tough. Karen Sanders. What's up? What's up? China Carter. China Carter. What's up, China? Mitch T. Lisa Owens. Joseph Hudson. What's up, Calvin? Detroit in the building. Let's see. TDK. What's up, TDK? Have a good trip. Okay. Antonio Lewis, what's up? Daryl Taylor. You got. What's up, Pat Carey? Misty Chicago. All right, fam, just a reminder that the block party has officially started. I don't know if y'all caught that, but when I say have a good trip, that means I blocked somebody. So, and it's just like that. I want y'all to check this article out in Yahoo News. Donald Trump, your president, is at it again. The dude is off his rocker, fam. He's off his rocker. He's almost out of here. The dude he's incompetent. He's incoherent half the time. He goes on these like ridiculous rants, and he always got an enemy that's typically an American enemy. He has more enemies in America than he has abroad. He talks about his enemies in America. Keep in mind, any enemy of his in America is really is technically a citizen of the country, a citizen that he has, some responsibility for. But he wakes up every day picking a new enemy in the United States. Trump 79 rants about stupid people questioning his major war escalation. Look at him. Look at him. If you get closer, you can smell his breath. That's about as close as you can get. Yeah. Good Lord. Yeah. Anyway, fam. Okay, here's the article. Also, when I increased the size of these, when I zoom in on the words, I zoom in on the words so y'all can read along with it. But when I zoom in on it, I have to read it side to side like I'm watching a tennis match, so it's harder to read, but I do my best. President Donald Trump complained about stupid people expressing doubts about his plans to take Iran's oil in a major escalation of his war in the Middle East. Remember, this is his war because he started it. More than a month into the war, oil prices have surged by more than 50 cents, driving gasoline up to nearly $4 per gallon on average in the US. The president is eager to force Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz and is considering seizing Iran's oil production to put pressure on the regime. To be honest with you, my favorite thing is to take the oil in Iran. This dude is talking like he's playing a game of Monopoly. To be honest with you, my favorite thing is to take the oil in Iran. But some stupid people back in the US say, why are you doing that? But they're stupid people, Trump told the Financial Times on Sunday. Such a move would require seizing the export hub of Kharg Island, which processes 90% of Iran's crude oil. The administration has deployed about 10,000 ground troops to the region, sparking speculation that Trump plans to invade the island. About 3,500 troops arrived on Friday, including 2,200 Marines, while thousands more are en route. Maybe we take the Kharg Island, maybe we don't, Trump told FT. We have a lot of options. Let's stop right there. We have a lot of options. Who talks like that? Like, dude, you at war. Who talks like that? Maybe we take the island, maybe we don't. Come on, fam. Trump thinks war he thinks it's some type of game. Remember when when the war first started, he said that he was having fun? Yeah. He was saying that he was having fun. He was having fun with all of this stuff. Check out something right quick. So even though people are dying, it doesn't really make a lot of difference to him. What's up, Billy Derry? What it do? He said military experts say that before reaching Kharg Island, ships carry U.S. Marine expeditionary units, which specialize in rapid response landing raids and assault missions, would have to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. There they would likely be attacked by Iranian drones and missiles and would need to navigate main islands in the channel. NATO's former Supreme Allied Commander James. So here's the deal, fam. So you know the United States has about 10,000 troops on the ground in the region right now, and they plan on invading the island. If they invade that island, I personally believe they're going to be sitting ducks. I don't think that there's going to be enough ships and airplanes to stop the missiles from hitting those troops on the ground. If they try to take that island, that's where 90% of Iran's oil is. So if they try to take that, I think they're going to take a whole lot of pain. It's going to be a lot of pain that comes with that. But hey, you know, Trump don't care because he don't have to fight the war. He don't have to go to war. He don't have to fight the war. His sons don't have to fight the war. They don't have to fight in the war. They're going to send everybody else's children to fight in the war. That's how that goes. When they touch down on Kharg Island, I want to show y'all a picture of Kharg Island. This is the island in question right here. Hold on. Hold on, let me get it. I'm trying to size it so the whole thing is on the screen. But you know what? We ain't gonna worry about it. We're just gonna show what we can. I'll show you what I got. So that's Kharg Island. This is what they're talking about invading. They're gonna touch down there, put 10,000 troops on the ground. And the idea is to take over this island. So they're gonna have to have protection by sea and air. And they say 13 people have been killed in the US so far. That number is going to rise significantly on the first day that they touch down on that island, the first day. But they're probably going to underreport the casualties because they don't want to spook the American people. I don't think the American people has ever gotten an accurate head count on the dead count. I don't think they've ever gotten an accurate account. Every time we go to war, it's always something slick being done. The government is always doing something slick. They're always doing something slick. It's never transparent. It's always hidden files. It's always a bunch of lying. It's always something we find out 30 years later that happened, atrocities. You know, it's always something different. It's never what it appears. It's never, ever, ever exactly what's being reported. Never. And the mainstream media is equally culpable. This is, I'm going to tell you something, fam. This is going to be a disaster. Trump is a disaster. He needs to be removed. Our lives are in the hands of a madman. It's not just the troops. It's us over here too. And it's not just potential bombs coming this way. It's also the companies that they allow to do business in America that sell compromised food and water. Also, companies that compromise our health with airborne chemicals when they put up their plants, in our cities and towns. But also, the American people are going to be public enemy number one as we travel. So we better not travel in groups. If you're thinking about going to a U.S. friendly country, any country that's supposed to be a U.S. ally, if you're thinking about going to those countries, you better be really, really careful. Because if they think they can knock off a group of Americans, you better believe they'll do it. He's making it dangerous for everybody. We're in the hands, our lives are in the hands of a madman. Kharg Island processes 90% of Iran's crude oil. I'm no oil expert, fam, but how does taking this export hub allow us to steal their oil? The hub must be fed by pipes that bring oil from the mainland, right? It seems like to me Iran could easily cut the flow off. I mean, can somebody explain to me this brilliant strategy? Explain this brilliant strategy for stealing oil from Iran. Can somebody explain that to me? I say release the unredacted Epstein files. I mean, they're not going to put him in jail, even if they see him in motion with a little girl. They're not going to remove him from office. That's how corrupt American government is. It's not just the Republicans. It's the Democrats too. Remember, fam, they had their foot on his neck and they didn't smash the gas all the way. They could have finished him off. They could have beat him to the punch with pushing for Democrats to be put in office before he made the move to put all those Republicans, I'm talking not in office, but on the Supreme Court. They could have went out of their way to bend the law, but they didn't. They don't play the same game with the same rules, by the same rules that the Republicans play the game. And that's why, even when the Democrats are in office, it appears that they really don't have any control. It still seems like the Republicans still have control. And here's the thing. I think, I might be wrong, but I think that the that the Democrats, they fight for money, power, influence. They're not fighting for principalities. They're not fighting for humanity. They're not fighting for equality. They're fighting for money, power, and influence. And that's why there's so many people who are hurting all the time. That's why so many people hurt so much in this country, because they're not fighting for the people. They're fighting for themselves. They're fighting so they can get a piece of the pie, the action. They're fighting for the action. So that's why the pendulum goes like this. It's the pendulum is on the same device. It's not two different devices. It's the same device. It is my belief that the Democrats, at the end of the day, if they don't get what they want, no matter what happens with the Republicans, they still kind of get what they want, because at the end of the day, the most important thing out of everything is to maintain white supremacy. So even when the Republicans are taking Black holidays off the calendar, when they're taking Black heroes out of the history books, off of buildings, taking their statues out of parks, trying to whitewash history, the white liberal Democrats still benefit. They do not fight for humanity. They do not fight for equality. They do not fight for civility, righteousness. They fight, they're out there protesting right now. No kings. They're protesting no kings because they want money, power, and influence. Okay, for all of y'all who think I'm tripping. For those of you who think I'm tripping, okay, watch this. Every time a Black person gets shot in this country illegally by the police, where are all of these thousands and thousands of people? Many of them are sitting on the sidelines and they just go, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, no opinion. I don't really have an opinion on it. Because they don't give a damn. They're on the sideline, just watching. Yeah. If those same people who are out there marching, screaming no kings, and putting their lives on the line, standing in front, standing in the gap, if those same people were as adamant about putting an end to police racial profiling and killing Black people illegally, it would be about non-existent. Anytime something like that would happen, there wouldn't have to be any marches, because justice would be served. That's why white people don't have to march. White people don't have to march when a white person gets killed illegally by the police. When you know the police was wrong, the police better have it right when they kill a white person. He better have it right. Because all of that, killing somebody for selling some leaflets or sitting in the park reading a book or shooting through somebody's window while they're sitting at home playing Nintendo with their nephew, walking in somebody's house, gunning them down while they eating ice cream. Ain't none of that's gonna pass if you kill them white folks. Ain't none of that gonna pass. So yeah, they pick and choose. They're really not allies, because where are they when all of this killing and stuff is going on? And also, do you think that only Republicans have been working in these banks denying black people the loans? You think only Republicans have been purposely underselling black homes when black people buy homes, or keeping black people out of homes and apartment buildings and office buildings? You think only Republicans are real estate agents? Yeah, a lot of these Democrats, white Democrats, do the same thing. Yeah, and they Democrats. They're doing the same thing. They are fighting for money, power, and influence. They are not fighting for humanity, civility. They're not fighting for equality. They're not fighting for none of that. They want money, power, and influence, just like the Republicans do. If we had the full cooperation of white liberals, this country would actually be I think this country would be maybe not 100% harmonious, but this country would be a lot closer to unified if we had 100% of white liberal support. It would be totally different. But it's not, because a lot of white liberals try to play both sides of the fence. And I'm sure some white liberals listening to me now going, shut up. They can't call me a liar. They know I'm telling the truth. They can't call me a liar. So they got to just be like, man, that guy needs to shut up. He's racist. Ain't that funny how they say that, like how they call somebody racist when they point out racism? If you point out racism, you're racist. But if I talk about black people doing something uncivilized, I'm not racist. What am I? If I call a strike and a ball, if I call somebody black uncivilized because they're acting uncivilized, am I racist toward blacks too? What am I? You know, like, I'm trying to figure it out. Can't figure it out. I'm just calling a strike and a ball, y'all. That's it. That's it. No kings. I'm with that, but I ain't finna march for it. I ain't finna get out there with them and march for it, because they ain't finna get out there with me and march against police brutality. At least not by the millions like they've been doing over the weekend. Millions all over the country. Millions of people taken to the streets. No kings, no kings. Being disruptive. About to blow a vein out. They just going crazy. They ain't never had that kind of passion for police brutality. So I'm calling it out. I'm calling the double standards out. I'm calling out the hypocrisy. Donald Trump is mad because the American people are not buying his leadership. They're not falling for his excuses. They're not falling for the lies. And he's mad because he's like, wait a minute, man. I've been lying all this time. And now they trying to hold me accountable. They trying to, You trying to question my lies? Hold on, bro. You can't do that. You're stupid. You're just stupid. The American people are stupid. That's what he's calling the American people, stupid. Stupid people. He says, stupid people. Stupid people in America. You're stupid if you question me. Imagine Barack Obama calling the American people stupid for questioning his decision. You know what Barack would say? He would say something like, well, everybody has an opinion. And I respect that, but I'm doing everything that I can do for the American people. We've had a lot of discussions with it. I talked to both sides, and I talked to me and Chuck. We've had a good conversation, and I'm sorry that Donald Trump would say something like that, because I talked to Trump just yesterday, and he told me that I was doing a fantastic job. So I don't understand. But this is America, and people have freedom of speech, and I think the American people are very intelligent, and they'll figure it out. And look. In the meantime, we're going to keep doing. We're tasked to do what the American people voted for us to do, and I think that they'll be satisfied in the end. But we're going to come back with a resolution. We're going to come back. I think the American people will be proud of the way that we're going to handle this situation in the end. See, Barack would never call the American people stupid, at least not publicly, because that ain't civilized. No more talk.